Hello, beautiful community. Just a very quick reaction to the Trump-Putin phone call. A couple of foundations first. A psychological foundation, the one that we tried to advance on the main channel, and that's that for Trump, Putin is a source of narcissistic supply he needs for emotional self-regulation, whereas for Putin, Trump is an actor he can manipulate to gain real geopolitical change in the world. So there is a kind of an imbalance in the relationship there. Second thing to understand is that Putin, while being potentially open to just about anything from a ceasefire to a substantive resolution to the war, remains unchanged in his aims, right? He'll take a continuation of the war or a cessation of the war, depending on which he feels brings him closer to something like Ukraine entering a state of ungovernability. Although the nature of his aspirations for Ukraine are also conditional on the degree of Western disarray. If he gets quite a lot of Western disarray, he may be open to actually making less maximalist demands in Ukraine, funnily enough. So as soon as the talks finished, Mr. Dugin came out and said that Putin does many things well, but the thing he does best is negotiate with Donald Trump, especially the 2.0 incarnation of Donald Trump. What basically happened is that Putin said no to a battlefield ceasefire, because his conditions for that, as of now, are that Ukraine gets a pause on its military support from Europe and the United States, and Ukraine halts its mobilization. So these are maximalist and untenable demands. The fact that Trump didn't try to yield to these suggests that he didn't fold completely. But in rejecting the battlefield ceasefire, they managed to agree on a ceasefire just for energy and infrastructure. And first of all, that's not new. That's stuff that's happened already. The Russians have paused that before. So it's not a special achievement of the Trump administration to get this. And it's a good question of who benefits from this, because, of course, Ukraine has also been using strikes on Russian refineries as a very important arm of its resistance. But I'm leaving that to military experts. The political analysis on this, other than to say that it's not an original event, the energy and infrastructure ceasefire. The political analysis of it is that it's Putin deploying a delaying tactic whereby he concedes a mini ceasefire instead of conceding a proper ceasefire, and that way throws the ball back over into Zelensky's court, again endangers Zelensky of being on the wrong end of further pressure from Trump, and does so without in the short term receiving any blowback from Trump. So that's a reasonably advantageous maneuver for Putin. And it's fair to say that for now, Putin retains a kind of initiative, and very much retains an initiative relative to Ukraine that is much more in a position of reacting to whatever falls out of the US-Russian engagement. Another thing that has come out of this, in my view, is a deepening of what we've already talked about several times, which is Russia-Ukraine relationships that go beyond Russia-US relationships that go beyond Ukraine. I think there is a tentative and gradual exploration of deepening this with the symbolism of a hockey game thrown in there as well. there is a risk that Putin will mishandle this and push Trump too far. But he hasn't done that, and he's judged it. He's judged it very well from the Kremlin point of view. Having said this, nothing catastrophic happened. Trump didn't attempt to make any catastrophic concessions. He just was, in a position of a dialogue in which Putin somewhat extended the initiative he already had. Lots of love.